The stars shone bright against the black of space. The human fleet moved in silence. 50 large warships flew in perfect formation. At the front was the biggest ship of all, the Valor. It was over 2 miles long with weapons on all sides. Admiral John Carter stood on the bridge of the Valor. He was tall with gray hair and eyes that had seen many battles. His blue uniform was neat and had many medals. He looked at the big screen in front of him. "How much longer until we reach the enemy?" he asked. Mary Ellis turned from her control panel. 20 minutes, sir. The Krell ships still don't know we are coming." John nodded. The Krell were bug-like aliens who had attacked 3 human worlds last month. They had killed thousands of people. The Krell thought humans were weak. Today, they would learn they were wrong. "All ships report ready for battle," said Steve Rogers, the weapons officer. He was young but very good at his job. "Our new shields are at full power. All guns are loaded." John walked to the front window and looked out at the stars. He remembered the pictures from the colonies the Krell had attacked, the burned homes, the dead children. His hands tightened into fists. "The Krell have never fought humans before," he said. "They think we will be easy to beat, like the other aliens they have conquered. They don't understand what they have started." On the other side of the fleet, Captain Lisa Brown sat in her command chair on the Defender. Her ship was smaller than the Valor but very fast. Lisa was known for being smart and brave. Her crew trusted her completely. "How are the new weapons?" she asked her chief engineer. Ben Wright looked up from his work. "The rail guns are perfect, Captain. They can shoot 10 times faster than the old ones. The Krell won't know what hit them." Lisa smiled. Humans had been fighting wars for thousands of years. This had made them very good at building weapons. The Krell had only fought easy battles against weaker enemies. "They think we are just another easy win," she said. "But we have something they don't have." "What's that, Captain?" asked a young crew member. "History," Lisa said. "Thousands of years of fighting and learning and getting better. We've survived everything our own planet could throw at us. We've survived our own wars. The Krell are just another problem to solve." Another part of space, the Krell were not worried. They had 20 ships around their new base. The base was built on an asteroid they had hollowed out. Inside, thousands of worker Krell were building more ships and weapons. Fleet leader Kazak stood in the control room. His hard shell was dark green. His forearms moved quickly over the controls. He had led the attacks on the human colonies. It had been easy. The humans had good technology but were not good fighters. Their ships had run away. "When will we attack the next human world?" asked his second-in-command. "Soon," Kazak said. His voice was like stones being crushed. "Their planets are rich. Their people will make good slaves. The Queen will be pleased." A warning sound came from a nearby control panel. A young Krell worker looked at the screen. "Leader, I am seeing something strange. There might be ships coming this way." Kazak walked over. "Impossible. No one knows we are here. Check your equipment." "I did, leader. Something is coming. Many somethings." Kazak was about to yell at the worker when more alarms started to sound. Now all the screens were showing the same thing. A fleet was coming. A big fleet. "Identify them," Kazak ordered. The worker's hands shook. "They are human ships, leader. 50 of them. Big ones." "Impossible," Kazak shouted. "The humans are weak. They have a few good ships, but their fighters run away when attacked." Another Krell ran into the room. "Leader, we are getting messages from our ships. The human fleet has been seen. They are in attack formation." For the first time, Kazak felt fear. He had attacked human colonies with no defenses. He had never faced their real military. "Get our ships ready for battle," he ordered. "Power up the base defenses. Send a message to the homeworld. We need more ships." But it was too late for more ships to come. Back on the Valor, Admiral John Carter gave the order everyone was waiting for. "All ships, this is Admiral Carter. The Krell killed our people. They thought we would be easy to defeat. It's time to show them how wrong they were. All weapons free. Begin the attack." The human fleet changed formation. The big ships like the Valor moved to the center. The fast attack ships like the Defender moved to the sides. "They're seeing us now," Mary Ellis said. "The Krell ships are moving to defend their base." John nodded. "Fire the first wave." Across the human fleet, missile bays opened. Thousands of small, fast missiles shot forward. Each one was smart and could find its own target. On her ship, Lisa Brown watched the missiles go. "Begin our attack run," she told her pilot. "Target the smaller Krell ships first." The Defender and 10 other fast ships broke away from the main fleet. They flew toward the right side of the Krell formation. Their engines left blue trails against the black of space. The Krell ships tried to shoot down the missiles, but there were too many. Explosions lit up space as missiles found their targets. 3 Krell ships were hit badly. One broke apart, pieces of it spinning away. "Direct hit on their lead ship," Steve Rogers reported to Admiral Carter. "Their shields are already failing." John watched the battle screen. The Krell ships were trying to form a defense line, but they were moving too slowly. They had not expected such a strong attack. "They're confused," he said. "They don't know which threat to deal with first. Fire the main guns." The Valor and the other big ships turned slightly. Huge gun barrels along their sides glowed blue. Then beams of energy shot out, crossing the space between the fleets in seconds. When the beams hit the Krell ships, they cut through metal like it was paper. 2 more enemy ships exploded. Another spun out of control, its engines dead. On the Krell base, Kazk watched in horror. Half his fleet was already destroyed or badly damaged. The battle had only been going for 40 seconds. "This isn't possible," he said. "The humans can't be this strong. They can't be this good at fighting." But they were. And the battle was just beginning. In the Defender, Lisa Brown gave new orders as her ship raced toward the enemy. "Target their command ship. Let's end this quickly." The human fleet moved forward like a wave of death. The Krell tried to fight back, but their weapons couldn't get through the human shields. Their ships were being destroyed one after another. Admiral John Carter stood tall on his bridge. His face showed no emotion, but inside he felt satisfaction. The Krell were learning a hard lesson. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was the most dangerous species in the galaxy, and the Krell had just made them very, very angry. 2 weeks after the battle, Admiral John Carter stood in the big meeting room at Earth Command. The walls were white. The floors were shiny black. A large round table sat in the middle of the room. Around it sat the 12 members of the Defense Council. They were the leaders who made decisions about Earth's military. John had just finished telling them about the battle against the Krell. His report was now being shown on the big screen behind him. "So that's it," John said. "We destroyed their base and most of their fleet. A few ships escaped, but they were badly damaged. The Krell threat has been dealt with for now." General Linda Warren looked at him with serious eyes. She was the head of the Defense Council, and she had been a soldier for 40 years. Her hair was gray and short. Her face showed the marks of many hard decisions. "For now," she said. "But what about later? The Krell will rebuild. They will want revenge. They might come back stronger." John nodded. "Yes, General. That's why I let some of them escape. They will tell their leaders what happened. They will explain how quickly we destroyed them. It might make the Krell think twice before attacking us again." Another council member spoke up. He was Admiral George Peters, an older man with a beard. "The Krell attacked our colonies because they thought we were weak. They had seen other human ships run away. Why did those ships retreat instead of fighting?" John walked to the window. Outside, he could see the city of New Washington. Tall buildings reached for the sky. Flying cars moved between them. Earth was the center of human space now, but there were 50 colony worlds too. "Those were trader ships and science vessels," John explained. "They aren't built for fighting. Their captains did the right thing by running away and warning us. If they had tried to fight, they would have died for nothing." Linda nodded. "So the Krell thought all our ships were like that. They didn't know about the defense fleet." "Exactly," John said. "They made a big mistake. They judged all humans by the few they had seen. They didn't know that we have been fighting wars for thousands of years. They didn't know that we have learned to be very, very good at it. A younger council member raised her hand. She was Dr. Helen Ross, a scientist who studied alien cultures. The Krell are insect-like, right? They live in hives with a queen. They all think the same way. They all follow orders without question. John nodded. Yes, that's what our reports say. They are like ants or bees, but much bigger and smarter. They do what their queen tells them to do. They don't think for themselves. That's why they lost, Helen said. Humans are different. We think for ourselves. We can change our plans quickly. In the battle, your ships worked together but also made their own decisions when needed. The Krell couldn't understand that. They couldn't adapt. The room was quiet as everyone thought about this. Then Linda spoke again. What about the ships that escaped? Where will they go? John looked at a star map on the screen. We think they went back to the Krell homeworld. It's here, about 20 light years from the battle site. Our scouts are watching, but they haven't gone close. We don't want to start another fight yet. George leaned forward. So what do we do now? Do we attack their homeworld? Do we try to talk to them? What's your recommendation, Admiral? John had been thinking about this question for 2 weeks. He had thought about it during the long journey home. He had thought about it while writing his report. He knew his answer would shape what happened next. I think we should send a message, he said. Not with words, but with actions. I think we should build more ships and better weapons. I think we should make our colonies stronger with better defenses. And I think we should send scout ships to watch the Krell, to see what they do next. Linda nodded slowly. You want to prepare for war while hoping for peace? Yes, John said. The Krell now know we are strong. They might decide not to attack us again, but if they do, we need to be ready. Next time, they won't underestimate us. Next time, they will bring a bigger fleet. The council members looked at each other. Then they voted. All 12 raised their hands in agreement with John's plan. It's decided then, Linda said. We will build up our forces. We will watch the Krell, and we will hope they are smart enough to leave us alone. The meeting ended. John walked out of the room and down the long hallway. He was thinking about what would happen next when he heard someone calling his name. It was Captain Lisa Brown. She had also come to Earth to report on the battle. Her ship, the Defender, was now in the space dock above Earth, getting new weapons and shields. Admiral, she said, walking up to him. How did the meeting go? John smiled a little. They agreed with our plan. We're going to build more ships and better defenses, and we're going to watch the Krell to see what they do next. Lisa nodded. Good. My crew is ready for whatever comes. The Defender will be even stronger with the new upgrades. They walked together toward the transport bay. From there, they would take a shuttle back up to the space station where their ships were waiting. Do you think the Krell will attack again? Lisa asked. John thought about it. I don't know. It depends on how smart their queen is. If she's smart, she'll realize that fighting humans is a bad idea. If she's not smart, he shrugged. Then, we'll have another battle. Lisa smiled. And we'll win that one too. John wasn't so sure. The next time will be harder. They won't underestimate us again. They'll come with more ships and better plans. It won't matter, Lisa said. Humans are good at fighting because we never stop learning. We never stop getting better. By the time the Krell come back, if they ever do, we'll be even stronger. John hoped she was right. As they reached the transport bay, his comm unit beeped. It was a message from Earth Command. He read it and his face became serious. What is it? Lisa asked. One of our scout ships just sent a report, John said. They detected a large fleet leaving the Krell homeworld. 100 ships, maybe more. They're heading toward human space. Lisa's eyes widened. They're coming back already? I didn't think they would be so stupid. John put the comm unit away. Get back to your ship, Captain. Tell your crew to prepare for battle. I'll inform Earth Command that we need to gather the fleet. As Lisa hurried away, John looked out the window at the peaceful Earth below. The Krell were coming back, and this time they were bringing a much bigger force. The next battle would not be so easy, but humans were ready. They had been fighting wars since they first picked up sticks and stones. They had learned from every battle, every war, every victory, and every defeat. They had become the best fighters in their part of the galaxy. The Krell were about to learn that lesson again, and this time, John would make sure they never forgot it. The battle was only 1 minute old, but the Krell were already losing badly. 7 of their ships were destroyed. 5 more were damaged so badly they could not fight. The humans had lost nothing. On the Krell base, Fleet Leader Kazak was shouting, "Orders!" His forearms waved wildly, his voice box made clicking sounds of fear. "Move the remaining ships into defense position. Get the base weapons online. Send the emergency signal to the homeworld." His crew rushed to obey, but they too were scared. They had never seen an enemy like this. The humans fought with strange weapons and perfect teamwork. It was as if they had been fighting wars forever. "Leader," called one of the crew, "the small human ships are attacking our right flank." Kazak turned to the screen. 10 small but fast human ships were closing in. At the front was the Defender, its guns already firing. Blue energy bolts shot out and hit a Krell ship. The ship's shields failed instantly. Then more shots hit, cutting into the metal hull. "Focus all fire on those small ships," Kazak ordered. But even as he spoke, 3 more Krell ships exploded. The battle was not even 2 minutes old. On the Defender, Captain Lisa Brown watched as her attack run succeeded. Her ship shook a little as a Krell energy beam hit their shields. "Shields holding at 95%, reported Ben Wright from the engine room. "Their weapons are not very strong." Lisa nodded. "Good. Continue the attack pattern. Target their command ship." The Defender turned sharply, showing why it had earned its name. It was fast and could change direction quickly. The Krell ships were bigger and slower. They could not keep up. "Their technology is about 50 years behind ours," Ben said. "Their ships are big but slow. Their weapons are powerful but not accurate." Lisa smiled. "And they don't know how to fight as a team. Each ship is trying to save itself instead of working together." The Defender fired again. This time the shots hit the main Krell command ship. Kazak felt his ship shake. "Damage report," he shouted. "Our shields are down to 30%, said a crew member. "Engine 3 is damaged. Weapons systems 2 and 4 are offline." Kazak could not believe what was happening. The humans were supposed to be easy to beat. The attacks on their colonies had been simple. The human ships there had run away after firing a few shots. "We need to retreat," said his second-in-command. "We cannot win this battle." "No," Kazak shouted. "The Queen would have us killed for running away. We must fight." But there was little fight left in the Krell fleet. Another ship exploded, hit by the big guns of the Valor. Admiral John Carter watched from his bridge as the battle unfolded. It was going better than expected. The Krell were already breaking formation. Their ships were trying to run in different directions. "Should we pursue them, sir?" asked Steve Rogers. John shook his head. "No, let them run. Our main target is their base. That's where they're building more ships to attack our worlds." He turned to Mary Ellis. "Tell Captain Brown and the attack group to continue their run. Clear a path to the base. The main fleet will follow." On the Defender, Lisa got the message. "You heard the Admiral. All ships form up on me. We're going for the base." The 10 attack ships moved into a spear formation, with the Defender at the point. They flew through the remains of the Krell fleet, firing as they went. 2 more enemy ships exploded. The others turned and ran. The path to the Krell base was now open. It was a big structure built into an asteroid. Gun ports covered its surface, but many of those guns were still not firing. The Krell had not had time to fully power up their defenses. "Target the main gun ports first," Lisa ordered, "then hit their power systems." The attack ships fired together. Their beams joined to create one massive energy strike. When it hit the base, a huge explosion followed. Part of the asteroid broke off, spinning away into space. "Direct hit," Ben shouted. "Their main power system is down." Lisa nodded. "Good. Now target their ship construction areas. Admiral Carter wants nothing left of this base." The Defender and its group continued their attack run. They fired again and again. Each shot found its target. The Krell base began to break apart as explosion after explosion tore through it. On the Valor, Admiral John Carter watched as his plan worked perfectly. The attack ships had cleared the way and disabled the base's main defenses. Now it was time for the main fleet to finish the job. All ships fire main batteries, he ordered. Target the base, nothing survives. The big human ships all fired at once. Their energy beams crossed space and hit the Krell base from all sides. The asteroid began to break apart completely. Inside the base, Kazakh knew the end had come. The bay, walls around him were breaking. Air was rushing out into space. Many of his crew were already dead. This can't be happening, he said. The humans were supposed to be weak. His second-in-command looked at him with dying eyes. We were wrong, he said. They are not weak. They are the most dangerous species we have ever found. Those were his last words. A moment later, a final explosion tore through the command center. Kaztiki and his remaining crew died instantly. Outside, Lisa Brown watched from the Defender as the Krell base was completely destroyed. The asteroid was now just floating pieces of rock and metal. Nothing could have survived. "Captain, we're getting a message from Admiral Carter," said her communications officer. "Put it through," Lisa said. John's voice came over the speakers. "Good work, Captain. Your attack run was perfect. The Krell base is destroyed." "Thank you, sir," Lisa replied. "But some of their ships escaped. Should we go after them?" There was a pause before John answered. "No, let them go. Let them run home and tell their leaders what happened here today. Let them tell the story of how the human fleet entered the battlefield and the enemy didn't last a minute." Lisa smiled. It was a good message to send. The Krell had thought humans were weak. Now they knew better. "All ships form up," John ordered. "We're heading home, but we'll be back if they ever threaten our worlds again." The human fleet turned and began to leave the battlefield. Behind them floated the remains of the Krell fleet and base. What had once been a mighty enemy force was now just space debris. On the Valor, John Carter looked out at the stars again. The battle had lasted less than 10 minutes from start to finish. The Krell had never had a chance. "Send a message to Earth Command," he told Mary Ellis. "Tell them the mission was a complete success. The Krell threat has been eliminated." "And the escaped ships?" she asked. John smiled slightly. "They'll tell their leaders what happened here. They'll tell them not to attack humans ever again. Sometimes, the ones who escape are more valuable than the ones you destroy. They spread the word. They spread the fear." The human fleet jumped to light speed, leaving the battlefield behind. But the message they had sent would travel across the galaxy. Humanity was not to be underestimated. Humanity was not prey. Humanity was the new predator in the stars. The human fleet gathered at Starbase Alpha, the biggest space station humans had ever built. It was 5 miles long and shaped like a wheel. Around it floated over 200 warships. Some were big like the Valor. Others were small and fast, like the Defender. All of them were getting ready for war. Admiral John Carter stood on the bridge of the Valor and looked out at the fleet. His ship had been repaired and upgraded after the last battle. Its shields were stronger. Its guns were better. But would it be enough? "The Krell fleet is still coming," said Mary Ellis from her station. "Our scout ships say they will reach the Henderson colony in 3 days. John nodded. Henderson was a small human colony with only 10,000 people. It had some defenses, but not enough to stop 100 Krell ships. "We need to meet them before they get there," he said. "We can't let them attack another colony." Steve Rogers looked up from the weapons console. "All ships report ready for battle, Admiral. The new weapons have been installed and tested." "Good," John said. "Send a message to all captains. We leave in 1 hour." On the Defender, Captain Lisa Brown was checking her ship one last time. The repairs had been finished quickly. The new shields would be twice as strong as before. The new guns would fire 3 times faster. "How's the crew?" she asked her first officer, Dave Clark. "Ready for battle, Captain," Dave said. "They're a bit nervous about facing 100 enemy ships, but they trust you." Lisa nodded. "This won't be like the last battle. The Krell know what we can do now. They'll be ready for us." "But we'll be ready for them too," Dave said with a smile. "And we have Admiral Carter's plan." Lisa looked at the battle plan on her screen. It was risky, but it might work. It had to work. There were too many Krell ships to fight in a normal way. "The Admiral is sending all ships the order to leave," said the communications officer. "We're jumping to light speed in 10 minutes. Lisa took her seat in the captain's chair. "Prepare the ship for jump. Let's go show the Krell that humans are still the best fighters in the galaxy." Far away, on board the biggest Krell ship ever built, Queen Exicta sat on her throne. She was 3 times bigger than normal Krell. Her shell was gold and black. 8 legs supported her huge body. Her 4 arms held different control devices. Around her, worker Krell rushed to obey her orders. The ship, called the Hive Mother, was 10 miles long and carried 50,000 Krell soldiers. Behind it flew 99 more ships of different sizes. "Tell me again about the human ships," the Queen said to Fleet Commander Viscat. Viscat bowed low. He had been one of the few survivors from the last battle. His shell still showed damage from that day. "The human ships are very fast, my Queen," he said. "Their weapons cut through our shields like they weren't there. Their own shields are much stronger than ours, and they fight in strange ways, not following normal battle patterns." The Queen's eyes narrowed. "Yet you say they have only 200 ships. We have 100 and ours are bigger." "Yes, my Queen, but their technology is better, and their fighters are more creative. They don't all do the same thing. Each ship seems to make its own decisions sometimes." The Queen found this hard to understand. In Krell society, everyone did exactly what they were told. No one made their own decisions. That would be chaos. "It doesn't matter," she said. "We have numbers on our side. We will crush these humans and take their worlds. Their colonies have much food and many resources that we need." Viscat wasn't so sure, but he knew better than to argue with the Queen. No one questioned her decisions. That was the way of the Krell. "We will reach the human colony in 3 days," he said. "Our scouts say it has minimal defenses." The Queen clicked her mandibles in pleasure. "Good. We will destroy it as a message to the humans. Then we will move on to their next world, and their next, until they surrender or die." Little did she know the humans had no plan to let the Krell get anywhere near Henderson Colony. 2 days later, the human fleet waited in a special place. It was a part of space, near Henderson with many asteroids and dust clouds. The ships were hidden, their engines running quiet, their sensors on passive mode so they wouldn't be detected. Admiral John Carter looked at the tactical display. The Krell fleet would be passing through this area soon. They would have to slow down because of the asteroids. That's when the human fleet would attack. "All ships report ready," Mary Ellis said. "Everyone knows the plan." John nodded. "Good. This is going to be different from the last battle. The Krell are expecting us this time. They know what our ships can do. But they don't know all our tricks," Steve Rogers said with a smile. John smiled back. "No, they don't." On the Defender, Lisa Brown and her crew also waited. Her ship and 20 others like it were hidden on the far side of a large asteroid. They were the surprise element of the plan. "The Krell fleet has entered the asteroid field," Dave Clark reported. "They're moving slowly, just like the Admiral predicted." Lisa nodded. "They have to. Their big ships can't maneuver well between the asteroids. They have to go around the big ones, which puts them right where we want them," Dave said. Meanwhile, on the Hive Mother, Queen Exicta was getting impatient. "Why are we moving so slowly?" she demanded. Fleet Commander Viscat bowed. "The asteroids, my Queen. We must be careful. If we hit one at high speed, it could damage our ships." The Queen clicked her mandibles in anger. "This is taking too long. The human colony is still a day away at this speed. We will clear the asteroid field in 2 hours, my Queen. Then we can go faster again." The Queen was about to say something else when an alarm sounded. One of the worker Krell looked up from a control panel. "Ships detected," it called. "Many ships, they were hiding in the dust cloud." The Queen stood up, all 8 legs tense. "Human ships? How many?" 150, my Queen." "They are moving to attack positions." Viscat felt fear run through his body. "It's a trap. The humans knew we were coming." On the Valor, Admiral John Carter gave the order. "All ships, attack pattern Delta, fire at will." The human fleet emerged from hiding and opened fire. Energy beams and missiles streaked across space. They hit the surprised Krell ships, which had not raised their shields yet. 10 Krell ships exploded in the first minute. 20 more were damaged. The Krell tried to fight back, but they were caught off guard and their ships were too close together in the narrow paths between asteroids. "Now, Captain Brown," John said into his comm unit. "Spring the trap." On the Defender, Lisa gave the order. "All ships attack run now. Target the Hive Mother." The 20 small attack ships came out from behind the asteroid. They flew fast toward the back of the Krell fleet. Their target was the biggest ship, the one in the middle. The battle had begun. Once again, the humans had surprised the Krell, but this time there were many more enemy ships. This time the battle would not be over in a minute. The battle in the asteroid field was fierce. Beams of energy crossed the darkness of space. Ships exploded in bright flashes of light. The Krell had many more ships, but the humans had better technology and a better plan. Admiral John Carter watched, from the bridge of the Valor, as his fleet attacked the front of the Krell formation. The human ships moved in perfect patterns, hitting the enemy and then moving away before they could be hit back. 20 Krell ships destroyed, reported Steve Rogers. 15 more damaged. We've lost 5 of our ships, and 12 have taken damage. John nodded. The losses hurt, but the plan was working. The main human fleet was keeping the Krell busy, while Captain Lisa Brown and her attack ships went for the real target. On the Defender, Lisa led her 20 ships through the chaos of battle. They flew between asteroids, using them as cover. Their goal was the Hive Mother, the huge ship that carried the Krell Queen. "There it is," said Dave Clark, pointing at the screen. "It's the biggest ship I've ever seen." Lisa nodded. "Size doesn't matter. It's what's inside that we want. According to our intelligence, if we take out the Queen, the rest of the Krell will be confused and disorganized." The Defender and the other attack ships sped up. They had to reach the Hive Mother before the Krell realized what they were doing. Inside, the Hive Mother, Queen Exicta, was angry. The battle was not going well. The human ships were faster and more agile than she had expected. They were hard to hit, and their weapons were causing a lot of damage. "Why aren't we winning?" she demanded. "We have more ships," Fleet Commander Vizcat tried to explain. "The humans are using the asteroids for cover, my queen, and their ships are more advanced than ours. They can hit us from farther away." The queen's many eyes narrowed. "Excuses. I want those human ships destroyed now. Send all our fighters to attack." Vizcat bowed and gave the order. Hundreds of small Krell fighter ships launched from the bigger vessels. They were fast but lightly armored. Admiral John Carter saw the fighters coming. "They've launched their small ships," he told his fleet. "This is what we expected." All ships switched to defense pattern Echo, protect each other. The human ships changed formation. The big ships like the Valor formed a circle. The medium ships formed another circle around them. This way they could fire in all directions and protect each other's weak spots. The Krell fighters attacked in a huge wave. There were so many that some got through the human defenses. Small explosions appeared on several human ships as the fighters' weapons hit them, but the human point defense systems were very good. Thousands of tiny missiles and energy beams shot out, destroying most of the Krell fighters before they could do serious damage. "The fighters are a distraction," John said. "The Krell think we're focused on their big ships. They don't realize that we're after the Queen." On the other side of the battlefield, Lisa Brown and her attack group had reached the Hive Mother. The huge Krell ship had sent all its fighters to attack the main human fleet. Its rear was unprotected. "This is too easy," Dave said. "Where are their rear guards?" Lisa frowned. "The Queen doesn't think she needs them. The Krell don't understand defensive tactics the way we do. They think offense is the only thing that matters." The 20 human attack ships positioned themselves around the rear of the Hive Mother. Each one had a special weapon designed just for this mission. "All ships, target the engine section," Lisa ordered. "Fire the plasma bombs on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark." 20 plasma bombs shot out and hit the Hive Mother's engines. These weren't normal weapons. They were designed to burn through metal and then explode inside the ship. The bombs cut through the engine armor and detonated. Huge explosions tore through the back of the Hive Mother. The giant ship stopped moving. Emergency systems tried to contain the damage, but it was too late. The engines were destroyed. Inside the ship, Queen Exicta felt the explosions. Her throne room shook. Lights went out, then came back on as backup power systems activated. "What happened?" she screamed. "We're under attack from behind," Vizcat shouted. "Small human ships have disabled our engines. We can't move." The Queen stood up in shock. "How did they get past our fleet? Why didn't our sensors detect them?" "They used the asteroids for cover," Vizcat explained, "and we sent all our fighters to attack their main fleet." For the first time, the Queen felt fear. "Get me to the escape pod," she ordered. "Now!" But it was too late. The human attack ships weren't done yet. "Second wave, fire!" Lisa ordered. 20 more special weapons hit the Hive Mother. These were drilling bombs. They cut through the ship's hull, going deeper and deeper until they reached the core areas. Then they exploded. The Hive Mother began to break apart from the inside. Explosions tore through its decks. Fires spread through its corridors. Thousands of Krell died in seconds. In her throne room, Queen Exicta watched in horror as the walls around her began to crack. Alert sirens screamed. Worker Krell ran in panic. Vizcat and the other commanders were already dead, killed by falling debris. "This can't be happening," the Queen said. "We are the Krell. We are superior. We cannot be defeated by humans." Those were her last words. A final explosion tore through the throne room. The Queen and everyone with her died instantly. Outside, Lisa Brown watched as the Hive Mother broke into pieces. The giant ship that had seemed so powerful was now just floating wreckage. "Target destroyed," she reported to Admiral Carter. "The Queen is dead." Across the battlefield, the effect was immediate. The Krell ships suddenly stopped fighting and organized. Patterns. Some continued to attack, but others just flew in random directions. Some even crashed into each other. "It's working," John said with satisfaction. Without the Queen to give orders, they don't know what to do. They can't think for themselves. The human fleet pressed their advantage. They attacked the confused Krell ships from all sides. One by one, the enemy vessels were destroyed or disabled. Some Krell ships managed to run away. John let them go. Like before, he wanted some survivors to tell the story of what had happened here. 2 hours later, the battle was over. The human fleet had won. They had destroyed 70 Krell ships and the Hive Mother. 20 enemy ships had escaped. The humans had lost 12 ships, with 25 more damaged. Admiral John Carter stood on the bridge of the Valor and looked at the battlefield. Pieces of destroyed ships floated among the asteroids. Rescue ships were picking up survivors from the damaged human vessels. "Send a message to Earth Command," he told Mary Ellis. "Tell them the Krell Queen is dead. The threat has been eliminated." "Do you think this is the end of the Krell?" Steve Rogers asked. John shook his head. "No, there will be another queen, but it will take time for the Krell to reorganize. And now they know what happens when they attack humans." On the Defender, Lisa Brown and her crew celebrated their victory. Their attack on the Hive Mother had been the key to winning the battle. "The Admiral is sending all ships a message," Dave Clark said. Lisa listened as John's voice came over the speakers. "To all ships and crews of the human fleet. Today we faced an enemy that thought they could destroy us. They had more ships. They had more fighters. But we had something they didn't have. We had courage, creativity, and the ability to work together while thinking for ourselves. Those are human traits that the Krell will never understand. Those are the reasons we won today, and those are the reasons we will always win. Well done, everyone. Let's go home." As the human fleet prepared to leave the asteroid field, Lisa looked out at the stars. Humans had been exploring space for only 100 years. In that time, they had built ships, colonized new worlds, and now defeated a powerful enemy. What would they do in another 100 years? What would they become in 1,000? Whatever happened, one thing was clear. Humans were no longer just another species in the galaxy. They were a force to be respected and feared. The Krell had learned that lesson today. Any other alien species that thought humans were easy prey would learn it too. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they were here to stay.